All right, so shalom, shalom, Israel. This is your brother Nari Yaakov. Um, I want to talk about something personal, something that pertains to me. Um, the reason why I'm vegan, at least one of the reasons why I'm vegan, and maybe one or two of the perspectives of the reason why I am vegan. And the reason I want to talk about it is because I'm about to tell y'all what we missing. And the thing y'all don't see, this world ain't nothing compared to, and it's the reason why we're hungry. It's the reason why we're suffering. It's the reason why we ourselves are in material want. There's something hidden for man that he doesn't realize, that he doesn't see. And I'm about to help y'all see that. And it deals with my diet. And that's the crazy thing. Number one, the reason I'm vegan, I'm not vegan because of the health, really. I mean, I love the health. I understand that the health is a manifestation of the right direction in the Father. I get that. The better the health, it points the way. And so when I look at it and I realize that it's not because of the health, it's not because of the vitality or the look of it or the killing of animals, really. It's not even because of all of that. When putting all of that together, my main reason is because it is the will of my Father. I could think of nothing else that made me fully and finally want to make that change until I realized that it was originally His will. Man is the establisher of harmony in the earth. Man is the creator of good in the earth. Life is meant to be eternal. The wisdom of the Most High makes all things eternal. The wisdom of the Most High is meant to be done, worked. The Son of God was created to work out the wisdom of the Most High. And in the wisdom of the Most High, the Son understands that in order to harmonize with all things, in no way, shape, form, and fashion shall he kill that thing. If the Son of Man can't plant a seed or cause a thing to increase, then he himself has not the right to decrease that thing. But the most precious of all is in the simple fact that all things that the Son of Man has learned to kill has a hidden service, as does the things he does not kill. And so the animals that the Son does not make sport of, the one that he almost in a sense ignores, still does a thing within its instinctual essence to serve man. And so the scriptures teaches that greater is the servant than the master. And I could think of none that were meant to be servants, lowest of them all in a sense, than the creatures he has learned to kill. And not only that, but the energy that flows from the sun that gives all things strength and life, vitality, growth. That energy passes through all of the flesh of the earth, which are the produce and the grasses and greens and all things everywhere that are meant to produce the energy in the earth. And so the Most High created the highest tier of energy that man alone could have the ability or had the right to consume. And the reason why, see, man had to consume the highest tier. The reason being, listen at what I'm getting ready to say. Do you know that the food you eat only reminds you of the spirit you once had in the presence of the Most High? Do you know that the energy, the vitality that comes from eating the highest energy in the land, right? Consuming the highest energy only restarts and ignites and it fuels your spirit in the level, at the nature, at the degree with which it once was. The things that man eat give him only a taste of the strength he once had. And so y'all never know y'all strength that you used to have because you eat the lesser and you do not maintain a great body, so that the Most High, or a great diet, if you will, flow of energy that the Most High once gave you. If you're not able to feel the joy, the vitality, the peace that he once gave you, how can you ever heal back to that again? Because y'all don't understand that the spirit that is within you is, in a sense, injured, not injured. Because you can't touch the spirit, but yet the spirit is in the flesh that makes it sorrow all the day long because it only wants to do the will of the Most High in you. Your spirit in you only wants to do the will of the Most High. Why? Because when you begin to follow the Most High, it'll be the greatest joy you've ever felt in your entire life. It will be greater than any joy you have ever felt. And so with dealing with that, you will not want to go to the lesser joy, the lesser happiness. You would want to remain in the Most High and be vital and be full of vitality all the day long, right? So, true enough, it was written from day one that these things were meant to be remedies to us. These things, the food that we eat, is all medicine. Every single food that you eat, no matter how much you like it, it's only medicine, people. And so y'all choose to let their bodies be your remedy, your medicine, to teach your spirit how to, at what level to be to feel it's the norm of vitality. And so if y'all could only imagine how you're teaching and how you adjusting your own self and your own bodies, I guarantee you this: of all the creatures in the earth, as there are omnivores, herbivores, and carnivores, man was meant to be a herbivore creature, just as well as the ones that he was meant to eat, if you will, or instructed to eat by Moses so as to teach the man the highest nature. Because it was only because of the nature of the animal, by the written, if you will, dietary law that Moses wrote. It was only the nature of that animal Moses meant to relay and let you know this was permissible. And so understand this. The vegan animal that you eat, because we all have to eat vegan animals if you want to stay, quote unquote, according to the written dietary law. You eat a vegan animal, not an animal that's been eating filth and living a worse than bestial life. But you eat the highest natured animal, right? This isn't meant for you to eat as in flesh, but according to the nature that you see. Be the like. And so Christ said, eat of my flesh and eat of my blood. And so of his highest nature, we were supposed to eat the like and be like. You understand what I'm saying? And so this was meant to be the nature of the dietary law teaching that was written in the book of Moses for every single man. Because what man destroys, he destroys the helper that would have now prevented all of the plagues. You understand what I'm saying? That we're suffering right now. The animal that was put in nature to instinctually do a thing that served man. And so the reason we're dealing with fires is because the ones who served to put the fires back are gone. The reason we see the floods is because the ones who served in the oceans are gone. You understand what I'm saying? And because we deal with the waters, the rains, when the hurricanes come, right? The winds blow, right? It's because the fire that was in the air that produced or kept the winds calm are gone. Y'all think these birds falling down and these animals coming out of the oceans, y'all don't think that the death of these animals is teaching you that this is what happens when animals die? Don't you understand? These are the disasters that happen when the animals that keep the earth along with you, that are meant to be your servants and helpers therein, die. The elements fall out of whack and go all crazy. Because the elements were being held back by all the labor that should have been done in the earth naturally. And if this ain't enough to cause you to be vegan this day, to stop destroying the ecosystem, then you really blind. You foolish if that ain't the highest wisdom you need right there. Because you destroy your dominion when you kill. You understand what I'm saying? Whatever you kill, the smallest worm you kill, you destroy the very thing that is meant. You understand what I'm saying? To hold back the tides. And so this is what we're dealing with right now. You see, out of a simple dietary law, I could explain to you exactly what's happening right now, because you just consume, you carnal man. That's all you want to do, is simply consume and destroy and have no consequence. But I guarantee you, the Most High is the one who entered into the single activist who goes out and decides to save a single creature and tell you that it's wrong to kill these creatures. But the ones y'all put the law on are eagles, right? Eagles who swing, though they serve their purpose, but they swing down and they steal, and they're thieves, right? Willing to take away even babies if they could. Y'all certify mice and all random crazy type creatures, right? And you do that if you could. But look, y'all don't think that all these creatures dying is going to have a consequence? You don't think all this food that we've lost is going to have a consequence? You don't think all of these things are now adding up? And all you have the opportunity to do right now is make your choice. Choose whom you will serve, life or death. And he who kills serves death. He who does not kill serves life. For wisdom is the source of life. And so in wisdom, they aim to do nothing but the highest good. Because that's all wisdom is. The highest good. And the highest good must be done. So in the scriptures it is written, when Christ went to John to be baptized, he said, suffer it to be so. It must needs be that men seek out, aim, do all that they can to fulfill the will of the Most High. Every bit, every jot, every tittle, we must aim to do his will. And so, you all have a chance and an opportunity to enter into a life that will bring a perspective to you so high that you can't ever see yourself turning back. In fact, you see what men have truly become. I just see nothing but Gentiles when I look at the carnal man. Bestial men caught up in the same exact state of mind as an animal, not seeking or ever living anything higher because they haven't lived. And the only reason you know is because you've chosen to live a little higher. And only that little height gave you a better perspective already. And so, if the little height gives you a good perspective, why not go all the way? So people, don't kill. For thy food, for thy meat, for thy drink, kill not. For there is plenty enough substance, even the substance that appears to be gone away, that we used to once have, where all animals served and did a thing in the ecosystem, in the atmosphere that blessed man. You see, the beavers build the dam that purifies the water that streams to man, so that he may drink and be nourished, right? The bees make the honey that in fact man tasting it is so sweet. And he enjoys this beyond measure. Yea, even the cattle produce the milk that man in a right mind can, in a right nature, suck and take of the meat, of the milk. And so, in all things, all creatures were meant to produce in their own nature, in their own living, and in their own being, everything that man would ever need, so that he wouldn't have the necessity to have to learn the art of killing. There's just something about when the spirit experiences a level of bad, or a thing that is bad. This is the proof, in fact, that it ought to have never been. For Adam was never in his spirit. There was no writing of disobedience that Adam was meant to keep in his spirit. The Father never put it there. And if there is no writing of disobedience, the Father who gives life wouldn't give life and teach his Son to kill. Yea, he would teach his Son to do the same exact thing. Give and do all abroad. Everything with all creatures. Yep. And so the Son would cause all things to live and increase. And the Father, through him, will cause his wisdom and cause his knowledge to grow. And in his wisdom, these creatures see man. They literally see man as the source of the continuance of their life. Yep. These creatures that serve man. And so when they see that man is in fact doing the thing that makes their lives better, that increases their lives, that blesses them, that gives them food out of his hand, that shows forth love and wisdom to him, these creatures will joy and genetically grow to favor man. You understand what I'm saying? And then in their favor, they will produce a thing to man, and none will be afraid. None will be affrighted of man. They will serve man and walk up to man as if man was the most blessed creature in all the earth. For he is. And so, as it was written from day one, they were all meant to come to man and bow down. And would man kill the things that bow down to him? Would he really lord his power over him when his Father himself lords not his power over him? For man is the cause of his own terror. And man has created the Satan that lords over him. So man has become his own Satan, individually and universally. Man has done this to himself. The Father is not to blame. And so the Father wouldn't create man and say it is very good, only for man to come and kill. Do any of us perceive the art of killing in any way, whether humane or inhumane, as a good thing for that thing that had to die, on account of your considering his loss of life good? Can you give it back to him again? Does that thing return that you killed? The source of his energy goes back to the Father. And so do you all say it is good because it goes back to the Father? But then, what do you say about the Father's intent for that thing that initially gave it life? So while you're selfish in saying, oh, it's going back to the Father, you're also against the Father who said it's meant to be here to live. And so y'all don't understand how contrary you stand against your own Father. How opposed you stand of him in everything that you have learned to do in this carnal life. And so, having obeyed the Father and become vegan, and if vegan should have ever been a name from the get-go, for my meat was the fruit and the produce of the earth. And so man had to create a new tier, a new hierarchy, a new food chain for himself in order to identify the difference between what he is now and what he used to be. And this is some kind of a technique, that the same thing that Moses did when he created the law. But how is it that the good-natured creature I am to eat, and I am to eat only after have judging it to be good? So am I to kill the things that I judge to be good? I don't understand how taking the good, or the thing that once was good, taking it from being the good that it is the flowing with the work of the Father. For if he works only so that things may be very good and full of life and eternal, who am I to take that which is the Father's work and put an end to it? Shall man put an end to the Father's work? Shall any man or any nation, any group of men, what if all men stood on the face of the earth to put an end to the work of God? I wonder what would happen. There's no need to go over it. You all understand the authority that stands up in you right now, just hearing it, the thought of it, the utter audacity of it is enough for me. Because you feel it. And so all of these creatures that we kill, these trees that we consume without working to plant again, everything that we take from this earth, family, and do not our due diligence in wisdom, for wisdom only teaches good, the best good. And so this is what man ought to do only, and nothing less than his highest good. The higher you can comprehend good to be, that good you ought to do. And so the scripture says, he who knows the good that he ought to do and does not do it, he sins. So all of you that know the good that you ought to be doing to your mother, to your brother, to your sister, to your friend, to that stranger, to the animals, to the creation, to all of good, to the disrespect that y'all all do, everything y'all do contrary to good that was originally written perfect in us. And y'all don't do it. It's sin. And so, I only say I'm a vegan because that's the thing that when I say it, y'all understand the level of diet I keep. This should not be. It should be originally the thing. You see, it's in reverse. The diet we're eating now should be strange and have a different name and be called something of a bestial nature, right? I understand y'all see sacrifices in the scriptures, right? All the spiritual tests to teach you how you ought to be when you sacrifice before the Father. You see, nothing could be blemished when it's sacrificed, when it was sacrificed. You understand what I'm saying? And the highest sacrifice that we could ever do is good. Love. There's absolutely nothing higher or on man's plate that he ought to do other than good. And so we're getting ready to go back into our original selves. You see, and I like the fact that I brought the point up about these animals dying everywhere that did a service to man, that when they dwindled, great floods and great tides came. Because maybe the commute that the fowl used to take every single winter to the place where there is summer, maybe the wings that they used to blow, the wind that they used to turn the tide of, in fact, turn these things that these streams of air, pockets and hot air and cold air that come with what it seems no restraint. Man himself has removed the restraint that held back, that caused, if you will, his blessing, and held back the winds, the chaos that could be, in the fish that swim And they cause the earth to, they cause the rains and the waters to flow. And they're the cause of streams in the rivers when they do their commutes and things of that nature. Y'all have no idea what we've taken. We haven't just taken oil from the earth. We haven't just taken, consumed just food and things like that from the earth. Polluted things everywhere. But the death that we have caused has taken the hired servant out of his position, leaving the position empty. Where he used to once serve for man. Man killed him and fired him. Fired him and killed him. And so y'all dealing with fires right now. Because the trees that used to blanket the ray of the sun, in the atmosphere and ozone layers that used to keep the rays back, y'all, we missing an image of this world that used to be, that we don't see anymore. And if we only had the chance to see that image just once again, all of you would pale and lament and despise in what the image of this world is about to become. Y'all have absolutely no idea what we're not seeing. See, the fearful thing is what we don't know. That's what we're always afraid of. That which we don't know. But I'm telling you truly, that about the way that things ought to be, that we do not know. The fearful thing is not knowing them. You understand what I'm saying? The fearful thing is not realizing it before it's too late. The fearful thing is remaining where you are and not moving towards that mark for the high calling to see what this world is going to be. Y'all have absolutely no idea the extinct creatures that used to bless man that we know not. Every animal, every plant, every tree was all meant to service something while living in their own unique joy to man. And y'all killing them. That's the reason I'm vegan. So peace and blessings.